we paint some of our copper glazes. They start out a little orange and they come out a little more blue, a little more green. Really depends on how those reactions happen in the kiln. So think of it as almost like glass on the surface of a piece of clay. It adheres to that clay very, very well, and it hardens up. So it's really hard. Fired pieces of clay are really hard to break, but they do break a little bit. But very sturdy and very easy to use for fired pieces. You guys have any questions for me? One or two, if you have any? Yeah.
How long did it usually take people to make bowls?
Depends on how intricate. It could take anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes to an hour if they really wanted to. I think you guys are actually switching over to
Yeah,
Doug.
hi everybody. Are you ready to go meet Mr. Doug in the Cooper shop? If you get, come sit back here and then exit this way. Here, wait on her.
Whoa.
Want to take your sweatshirt off? Or we'll head over here and say hello to Mr. Doug.
What animals are you going to see first?
Well, we're actually going to see Doug, our Cooper, first. Hang on 1 second. Let's give Mr. Doug a chance. If you guys back up just a little and let these folks exit the shop before we enter. All right, perfect. Thank you for waiting. Mr. Doug, I think this will be the last one for you, and then last one for you.
Okay, thank you. If you all could form a line right here, beginning here, and go around in a circle. You're in the woodworking shop, and let's see what, yeah, if you could be up on the, yeah, there's dangerous things over here. Let's see now, what grade are you folks in?
4.
Oh, so you are now experts on South Carolina history. You studied South Carolina history in the 3rd grade, right?
Yes.
So you know about the plantation system a little bit. You know that there was a crop grown all along the coastline here that was so very important, and it would make South Carolina one of the, if not the wealthiest of all the 13 colonies. Do you remember what that crop was?
Rice?
Tobacco rice.
Not tobacco.
Cotton. Rice.
Rice, yes indeed. Rice was the catch crop. Cotton was farther inland. It came along much later. Okay, now I have a challenge question for you. This is a very difficult, critical thinking question. You're on a plantation where woodworkers could make all kinds of things. The carpenters built houses, and there were coopers making barrels and buckets. These things that come around in a circle, barrels. Now, why do you think it would be really nice to have barrel making on a rice plantation?
Because, I read about this before. Because if you're making rice, you need to put a store. You may not be the perfect fit.
And it would be the perfect fit? Oh, rice to go where?
To be stored in a barrel.
Put it in a barrel, right? Yeah. If you're going to sell rice, you got to have a container, right? And you can't put it in a bag. It's going to get sopping wet, and bags are expensive anyway. So barrel making was essential for the shipment of rice. Over here in the corner is what a rice barrel looks like. That one right there. But wait, that doesn't look like a wine barrel. It's got wooden hoops on it. That doesn't look strong enough for wine. But we're not selling wine, we're growing rice. And so that was perfect for the growing and selling of rice. That's what we do in here. We do the real things, and I do coopering. I'm going to show you a little bit of how we turn the tree into lumber. Very quickly now. I have a piece of wood here and more here. These are all chunks of wood. Pine, they use pine here. And very quickly, we turn the tree. We take a tool called a froe. That's way too thick to put on a bucket, isn't it? We're going to turn that into lumber wood. And we're going to take a tool here called a maul. Wooden slab. Wait a minute. There's something about this tool here. Look, that looks like it came from a tree, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's got bark on it. So we carved the handle out of that. And that's part of the woodworking shop too. We're going to put that right smack dab in the middle there. And going to go whap and whap. And in 2 strokes, I got a couple of boards right like that. That didn't take long. Who needs a power tool when you have a strong hand and a good sharp tool to do that with? But it's still not there. It's not as good as this nice select pine. It's pretty rough, rough edges. So after we split it, the next thing we do is we're going to chop on it or hew it. And we're gonna do that with a hatchet or an axe. So we're gonna put that right there and follow the edge line of that. Very carefully, we're gonna chop that down. We'll chop it down in this direction. Back and forth, back and forth. But you know, still pretty rough. I think we gotta do something else. What do you think we need to do to make this smooth?
Probably like rub it against something so it gets all the taller areas. Sandpaper.
Okay, that's not getting it smooth.
Sandpaper?
What do you think?
Sand
Rick?
it?
What?
Sand it?
Sand it? How are we gonna sand it? There's no sandpaper in the 18th century. It wasn't invented yet.
Metal?
Metal? I think we're getting close.
Like-
Using metal with maybe a sharp edge? Maybe to shave it? We might shave it. Let me take it over here to the shaving department. We have a special section of the room that I call the shaving department. And it's right over here. And it's called a shaving horse. Now, why would I call it a shaving horse?
Because you
Cause it looks
Sitting
like a
on it like a
horseshoe.
horse, right? Okay, I'm gonna put that right there and put my foot on that pedal. I'm gonna take a tool called a draw knife and shave it towards me like you're supposed to do, right? Carefully.
I thought you
It's
knew.
starting to get smooth. Okay, I want to turn the wood around. What do I do?
Take your foot off the pedal.
Ah, yes, indeed. Lift my foot, turn it around, and shave on the other side. And just keep doing that until I can get it nice and smooth. So, woodworking took time and effort. And it was done by people who were absolute experts at it. I want to tell you their names. Remember their names. There was Caesar, and old Caesar, and Cato and William. Every single one of them enslaved Africans. Now they came here with a wealth of wood carving skills, and they were the ones, remember, who were the masters at the growing of rice. So we remember them, we honor their memory. That's my basic story. If you have any quick questions before I go, I'll be glad to answer your questions. That all make pretty good sense to you? Well, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
I want to go see the animals. I want to go see the animals.
Kitty.
I'm not going near that. I ain't going near that.
Listen. Textile shop. Ooh, all right.
I ain't going near there.
There's a candy on the table. There's a candy on the table.
I ain't going over there.
Yeah,
I'm not scared of cats. I'm allergic to them.
I'll send like 3 of you in at a time, and I'd like you to look at the fiber here, okay? Because it's kind of a little small space. So if you 3 of you guys walk in, so up to here, and then I'll tell you a little bit about what you're looking at. You guys just wait and then you can
Dang
come
it.
3 at a time.
The lion. We can go together, Mommy.
This is what we call
Me, you, and Rylan.
but it looks like horsehair. And then right behind you is some cotton. And we have a special kind of cotton that was grown down here by the water and the coast.
I'm gonna sit down.
You guys might know a little bit about that from Boston. So those are 3 different fibers that you can actually, I have cotton sleeves here, a linen that comes from flax petticoat.
It's almost time to do lunch.
It is.
That actually I think is a rag quilt that was made from.
No, they're gonna be
All
loud.
right, let's let everybody have a chance to come on in. We'll do like 4 of you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Cotton wheel?
Yeah, you can, so maybe 4, up to you if you'd like to come in and take a peek.
4. I'll let Maddie go in because I want to go with you.
Okay, thanks. So, oh, well, nothing, maybe. We don't spin gold here, but we do spin cotton,
I want you to.
wool,
You want me to?
and linen. And linen comes from this plant here called flax. And it looks like horsehair, but it's combed and spun into yarn that, or thread that you can actually make my, yeah. And you guys, if you can put that down, we're not gonna touch anything, because they're pretty dirty. Right next to it is wool. You guys see the wool? There's dirty wool that's shaved right off of the sheep, and then some that's clean. They card that wool and spin yarn from it. And then we have cotton, which you're wearing a cotton t-shirt right now. So isn't that cool to see those fibers before they're even processed and where you can wear it? All right, let's let everybody have a chance to peek in. I think we got a couple more kids that can go ahead and stand right here. All right, anybody else want to come in? You guys can all come in so that we can fit. Yeah, right. So right here is cotton. It grows on a plant. Of course, we know of Sea Island cotton that's grown closer to the coastline than in the upland cotton, short staple cotton. This is Sea Island. It's really long, and this has short staples so that they have to blend it together a little bit closer. You can't pull a really long strand out of the short staple cotton. Then we have linen, which looks like horsehair there.
Yes, it does.
That's called flax. It comes from a plant, and they comb it and spin out of that, and then
that's
wool. And so you can see the difference between the dirty wool and the clean wool that's in the basket next to it. And all of them can be combed, the fibers are lined up, and then they spin it into yarn on these big spinning wheels.
So that's the wool wheel. That's the flax wheel.
And you can even use a hand spindle, which I'm sure is in the cabinets for doing it by hand. All right. Well, Tom's ready for your group. You guys can hang out by the parents' shed. I'm gonna get this is over at Miss Martha's Potter Shed. Thanks for spending some time up here with the arts.
Wait, are we going over there?
We're right here to wait on her.
They said we were going to only have 20.
Yeah, we're waiting. We were filling.
Mommy, 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 it's the old cars. This is a jump seat buggy. That's a training car right there. I'm hungry.
It's almost time for
And my feet are killing me.
you need to get out there.
Whoa.
They've been waiting on this.
They've been waiting. We've been waiting to see this. I love those birds do look delicious.
Okay, guys, listen up, honey. Listen. Y'all be quiet.
Is your husband the other guy? The grouchy one? Yeah, no, he was supposed to grouch it off. I recognize that. Normally we don't work on the same day.
It's lunchtime.
Now we had to write something. We have to do someplace and I have to look forward. So that's how it always works. Yeah. Makes the commute more enjoyable. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to get to see the animals.
Yay.
Okay, now a couple rules about the animals. I hate to give you rules. You know how it is. You already know you got to be careful where you walk because
Don't run. Don't yell. And don't chase me.
if you go running up to their fence and you're making a whole lot of noise, so the animals are just going to say bye, and they're going to go way back in the corner, and you're not going to get to see it. And really, since you're my last group coming through, and 3 have already come through, when we get over by the horses are going to say, I don't want anything to do with those kids, because I get tired. But anyway, these are what would have been here in the 1800s. They're called heritage. We know they were here because they kept records of everything that we did at that place. They served one of 4 purposes while they were here, and some shared more than one purpose. So they were either here to provide a workforce, so like our horses and our water buffalo, they worked the field. They provided food, which would be your pigs and your cows, all that good stuff, and the goats. And then they provided a product like your sheep and your cashmere goats gave us the wool to make yarn out of and threads and stuff. And
There's Miss Tracy.
you know, you could take their hides and make stuff out of that.
It feels like goat's fur.
Like the cashmere goats. Then the last group are the ones that were cute and fun, but they still served a purpose because, like the cats, why would you have cats? Mice, because they would get rid of the mice and the rats. Yeah, so they were bunny rabbits. Yeah, they were just cute, and they could use, depending on what kind of rabbits. If they were Angora rabbits, they could use their fur to weave and stuff, so that they can make cloth out of it. Or they had rabbit stew. So everything had a purpose. Yes. Yeah. And there's only one animal here that I will not let you pet, and that's a waterfowl. When we get over by them, I'll explain to you why we can't.
Wait, it's a what?
Yeah, there's water buffalo.
They're big and they're still babies and they're very rambunctious and they have really sharp horns and I don't want anybody to get punctured. That would hurt. Just keep you away from them because they charge the fence a lot. So first we're going to go down to this here.
Oh yeah, it's a goat.
I said orange.
Okay, so the brown one that's walking away from you, his name is Leroy, and he is a Nubian goat. The Nubian goat is a cross between an Asian African and European goat. Okay? Now the two black ones, this one with a big patch of white on its side, that's Mo, and the other one that's down further, his name's Phil. So they're all three mixed. The two black ones are Spanish goats, and they would have come over with the Spanish explorers when they settled in Florida. And these were part of a group that were dumped on an island off the coast of Georgia. Most of them pretty much lived there their whole lives. So the Spanish Goat Conservancy, they got these two to reintroduce them to the public and hopefully almost to having them. That's what we're gonna do. That one, we're gonna get it by a big awesome stuff. But we get a lot of animals on loan. And it's just because they want the rest of the world to see that they're there and they're trying to reestablish the group. So what do we have goats for? Milk. What do you do with the milk? You and drink the milk. And they would also let them roam around.
I think those, these are the ones that we can't pet.
Now they're horned.
They're not.
Leroy doesn't have any horns. He's just got more studs. And we don't know why the other two obviously have really big. Those horns are made out of the same material your fingernails are made out of. So they break off, they grow new ones.
Oh, pooping. The goat, Leroy.
Why are you pooping? He's still pooping. The goat just pooped.
It was just poop.
Leroy just pooped.
And I was like looking at him with my camera. Wait, you got it on tape?
He was eating and pooping. The goat was eating and pooping.
Yeah, that's what elephants do. My brain. Oh.
Too close to the goat. We're allowed to touch
Hello. Hello, Goat Junior.
We named him Goat Junior.
Hello, Leroy.
I can't touch. It's too far.
Should I pet its head?
Probably not. I would go more with the butt region as opposed to the head region.
All right, guys, let's go.
All fun and games till he snaps your little,
Yeah.
till he
Finger
uses
off.
your fingers for a snack.
Oh. Those are probably the water buffaloes over there. Whoa, what's over here? I smell poop.
I just farted.
It's cars. It's cows.
Rocky is a guinea hog.
It's cows.
Guinea hogs would have come from West
No, it's
Africa
hogs.
with the slaves.
Oh, I thought guinea hogs would be a little.
Normally they weigh between 150 and 250 pounds.
Excuse me. Oh, they're in me? What is it? Can I see?
It's a hog.
Nature, can I see it?
It's guinea hog.
Whoa.
Yes. Guinea pigs and guinea hogs are like a little.
We're probably not allowed to pet him.
Wait, pork, bacon, pork and bacon.
Pork and bacon and ham. Okay, so in the fall when they butcher those guys, they didn't waste any part of the animal. Okay, so they took its fat and they made soap and candles out of it. The candles are really nasty, they burn really fast, and but they did use them in the main house, except at dinner and at dinner